All right, we are looking at conflict today, conflict resolution, and it is a type of problem solving, a type of interpersonal problem solving. Conflict, a state of disharmony between two or three people. Shouldn't always be avoided. Sometimes it's necessary for growth. Conflict on a personal level can be a struggle between old and new ideas as you create new paradigms, new ways of seeing. Confronting conflict between two people sometimes allows for the airing of problems that may have gone unnoticed. So conflict is not always a bad thing. We must, in our schools, teach our children conflict resolution skills. How do we expect them to learn how to do this if we do not teach them and teach them specifically? This is part of helping our children become and be good human beings. In Star Trek, they say the prime directive is do not disrupt alien cultures. That means when you see children having conflict, do not always jump in to solve it. That robs them of the ability to resolve the conflict, to practice their own conflict resolution skills. So don't always jump in. And understanding the sources of conflict is the first step in learning how to resolve it. There are 5 sources of conflict. We're going to look at each one very briefly. And by the way, these are things you teach children. Sources of conflict. Yes, you can break it down to the first grade, maybe even kindergarten level. But understand, we are teaching them how to be good human beings. Number 1, when resources are limited or perceived as limited between two groups of people, causes conflict. Number 2, the activities or tastes of one group, what they are doing. It impinges upon another, it becomes a nuisance, or it becomes an impediment to something they want to do, a goal. Number 3, values. When the values that you hold are at variance with another. Now that's okay, but if they are forced on another, or if another person's values are demeaned or depreciated, that causes conflict. Number 4, beliefs and belief systems, that's okay. A difference in philosophy, paradigms, worldview, or what we think is the action or solution to a problem, that's okay, but when we insist that ours is the right one and the only one, and we demean others, that's when conflict arises. And forces within a relationship. Now, a relationship can be 2 or more people coexisting as a unit. Relationship as we normally think about it, but it could be a family, a group, organization, family, or even a society. Opposing views or desires within the relationship. Groups or people want to go different ways, or groups of people have different goals. We see that in families, we see that in relationships, we see that in our society. Part 1, interpersonal conflict resolution skills.